So welcome everyone. Today is Friday, which means it is our weekly group coaching session. I do want to show how you guys can get access to the meeting today. Let me share my screen here. First of all, if you're not a reseller in our program, you can go to myvisionagency.com. You can click here to sign up directly to HighLevel using my affiliate link. And as a thank you for using my link, I have a free starter plan inside of my reseller program that I give my HighLevel affiliates. If you're already a HighLevel customer, you can join us directly there. You can also check out the software bundle if you're not interested in reselling the software, but you want to use it for your own business. And you can join our free community here or book a private consultation with me there. So if you are in our reseller program, you want to go to your dashboard, go to the community tab, and you want to click on today's date. When you do that, you can join me right in the Zoom room. I do want to share with you also, if you go to your discussion board, you'll see now I do have my own GPT here. So you guys are going to love this. I'm going to show you how to use it and how to make one of your own. But you'll see when you click here, this actually just opens up a window. Now, to use any custom GPTs, you do have to have a paid Chat GPT account. But even if you're in our free community, I did make this available to you as well. So here's how you use this. So I've created this GPT, and my goal is for you to go here and be able to easily find any of my videos or whatever it is that you're wanting to learn. So I'm going to click here to suggest a video, and I've specifically told it, do not pull any information outside of the list that I've given it, because I don't want you to get like out in la la land. I want you to find, if I have a video discussing this topic, I want you to easily find it here. So I'm going to say video hosting. So that's just an example. I'm just saying, hey, I want to know about video hosting. So I'm going to click video hosting, and it should give me the title and the link to a video if I've done any about video hosting. So let's see what it generates here. Okay, now I hate that it's putting this in this like chart here. And I've been working with this, and I was just playing around with this and got it to stop doing that, but it keeps doing this. So be patient with me. But regardless, you have the answer here. You have the title, and then you have the URL. Of course, you want to click the URL. And this is something else I'm telling it that I want it to do, is I want it to be a clickable link so you can go there and open that up. So now let's see. Let's see why it's being weird. Okay, so yeah, you can't even copy now. There we go. All right, so copy and then open this up. See, this is what I don't want you to have to do, but it does take you to the video. Okay, best low cost hosting. All right, so definitely be patient with me while I figure all of that stuff out. I literally just got all the videos uploaded and all of that yesterday, so definitely still some playing around like we always do with GPTs. But this, I think, is really going to help me to best support you guys when you have a question, because I have over 1,500 videos on YouTube now. So sometimes it's really hard for me to even find my videos. So I know it's hard for you guys to find them. So definitely check out that GPT if you're looking for something. I think that this is really going to help a lot. Let me go ahead and let Charles in. Let me stop sharing just to make sure that everybody else is in. Okay. So before I go any further, do you guys have any questions about that? No? Okay. Let me share my screen again. All right, so let's talk about how to actually create this. So first, if you go into the GPTs, I'm going to take you in the back end of this, and I'm going to click here, and you can see Bridget Bartlett's GPT, search from my database of 1,500 videos. And so here is my prompt, which I did use the prompt generator to create. Actually, this might be a reason here. So we're going to say, this might be a reason why it was doing that. So I'm just, you know how I do it with you guys. I'm just working live. Okay. So you're working with a structured CSV file that contains a video library. The file has 3 columns, and then I describe it. And then I'm basically just saying you're a helpful assistant whose role is to help the user find the answer to their question by searching the CSV file called YouTube videos all. And then I just basically say, check the files and generate the response in this format. only use the data from the CSV. Do not include any outside information. That's something that I had to put there because it was just pulling in any data. So when you create that GPT, of course, you need to upload a CSV of all of the videos that it's going to reference. And that part here is this list that I created here. Now, this list is a little bit of a challenge because Zapier can only, when you add a video to a YouTube playlist, Zapier can only do 50 videos. It just stops at 50 videos. So what you have to do, let's walk through the steps here. Let's create a spreadsheet. And I want to show you how to add the first 50. And then what I did was I created another playlist, another workflow, used the same spreadsheet that I was using. So I had to do that in sets of 50 just to get all my videos. Okay, so 1,500 videos, that was a lot. I only did the videos from 2023 on because really those are the only ones relevant. But let's just say for this, I'm going to say test. And in the first column here, we need to put whatever it is that we want it to organize. So I'm going to say title of the video, and then we'll put URL, and then we'll put description. Okay, so now we have our like titles here, and then now what we want to do is use Zapier to move those videos we add to a playlist to this list here so we can download it and then upload it into our custom GPT. So I'm going to go to Zapier now. Let's go to create a new Zap. And we want to grab the YouTube playlist first. That's going to be the trigger because our videos are on YouTube. And we want to choose the event is going to be when a video is added to a playlist. I'm going to click continue. And then now we need the playlist ID. So that can be found if we go to our playlist here. And let's say that I wanted to add a video to this playlist. So I could open this up. And then you'll see up here in the URL, it says playlist / and then there's a code here. Okay, now we don't want edit. That's just the page that we're on. But this long code here is the playlist ID. So I'm going to copy that. And let's go back into Zapier. And we're going to paste our playlist there and continue. Now I need to test the trigger. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And it found a video that was in that playlist that I can use. So you see promo video with Descript. And that was actually the video here that was in that playlist. All right. So it's pulling in that data so that we can map it out and use it. Now the next step is going to be a Google spreadsheet. So here we have Google Sheets. And I'm going to choose the action. I want it to create a row. Create a spreadsheet row. And then, of course, I need to log in here. And I hope I'm choosing the correct account. Actually, we'll say this and continue. And we're going to choose the drive. We're going to choose this one and the spreadsheet test that I just created. And we can even choose the sheet within that spreadsheet. And if you don't know what that is, that's down here where it says sheet 1. Of course, you could change that to whatever you want to. But what we want to do now is you'll see the 3 columns that we created, title, URL, and description. So now we need to tell the system, what do we want to do? Like what information from here do we want to put here and where? So I'm going to click here for the title, and I want to go to the information from the YouTube video, and I want to pull in that title. So I'm just going to click that and map that out. And then with the URL, I want to add the YouTube URL here. And then we have the description. You'll see a description right here. So I'm going to click continue. And let's go ahead and test this. And when we go back to the spreadsheet, we should have that data here. So you'll see if we scroll all the way down, you'll see the title, the URL, and the description. So that's what we need to do. And of course, publish. Now this automation is ready to go. So what I would need to do now is go back to my list of videos. So let's say it was this one. And you can expand this list to 50. This is what I did. And then select all of these and then add to playlist. So I would add it to whatever playlist. It was this one specifically that I chose, but I would add this, and you'll see, like when you see the little minus signs here, that means that this list contains like these videos are in all of these different playlists. Okay, so if I selected, let's say this one, it would be a check mark, and that means that all of the videos are in that playlist. All right, and then of course these with no minus or no check mark, that means that none of these videos are in any of these playlists. Okay, so that's kind of just a quick training on all of that. So what you'd have to do is create a playlist for every 50 videos, create a brand new, don't duplicate it because that kind of screws it up too. Create a brand new Zapier workflow just like this for every set of 50. So if you have tons of videos, this is still faster to do, but it's definitely easier if you set it up like that training I did where it automatically sends it to a Google spreadsheet when you upload a new video, and then just once a month, maybe you want to add it to the GPT list. Okay. So I know that you guys have questions about that. So I want to stop and I want to see, do you guys have any questions? No? All
I'm
right.
so excited.
With this stuff, man. It is crazy.
I
I'm so
know.
excited.
How you come up with this stuff, man.
I
You know
can't
how
wait to
in
rock with
open
it.
office hours, I'm always asking you guys for use cases because it's like I can show you Zapier, I can do like a walkthrough of the tool or like HighLevel, but without the use case, it's really hard to explain it to you, but it's also hard for you to understand. It's like, great, we can create a webhook or we can add a video to a playlist and a Go sheet, but like, what does that even look like? And why would I even want to know how to do that? So yeah, super, super cool. So you
I
guys
think it's
definitely play around with that GPT. Let me know if it's helpful. Let me, give me some suggestions. Like I know that I still need to work on that formatting, but I think this will really help because I'm constantly, you guys know, I'm constantly digging through my videos.
and just the understanding of how to do it and the
Yeah.
thought process, like that's what's really crazy to me. And it was funny because I was on the phone with a client who's a business owner, and they were looking at my business, and they were like, they pulled me to the side in the middle of the conversation, like, listen, your system is just amazing. So like do that. And it's really just because, like you said, you'll show us the use case scenario. And then once we understand the use case scenario, I might not understand the jargon or I don't know what a webhook is, but I got them and I know when to use them. And that's
Mm,
all that really matters at the end of the day. So I really appreciate that.
yeah. Amen to that. Because I don't know a lot. I am so far from an expert with like APIs and webhooks and all this stuff, but I know how to use them and I can
Mhm.
copy and paste. And that's really all
Right.
that matters.
Yeah.
To be experts, as long as we're getting the result we want, that's what matters for sure. Rick, I see you had your hand up.
Okay. So I like that the way, so now we can put that, it's actually within our community, but through that link where you had your chat GPT.
Mhm.
So you could also have, like yours was focused on videos.
Mhm.
So you could also have a question and answer type GPT for everything that anybody asked within your group.
Yeah, yeah. And that's kind of, I probably will elaborate on that. It's just the videos was the first thing that I really wanted to get the GPT created for because I know, I'm constantly looking for the videos, but also like when you have so many videos, it's so nice to be able to just go in there and say, hey, I want to learn how to send an email. And then it's going to search through that entire list of videos and it's pulling from the title and the description and then of course sharing the link, all of those things. That's just, it's like I literally told my husband because he doesn't understand AI and all that, and I said I just duplicated myself. He's like, what? That's crazy.
So,
So
so my question is, could you do the same thing, but have it draw from videos that are within the media library? instead
What
of
media
being
library?
outside of YouTube, the media library that's within Go High Level?
So it's actually pulling from that CSV file that I created. So
Okay.
I specifically told it, do not pull from don't give any information from anywhere aside from the CSV. So if you wanted it to do that with HighLevel, you would have to create a CSV file with all of that information that you wanted to pull from.
That's my question then is, so if you had your videos not out on YouTube, not a URL out there, but within your media library, could you be able to um, do the same thing, but they're, housed within the GHL media library space instead of out?
Essentially, it doesn't really matter where you're
Okay.
hosting it. You would just need to have the link because the point is what it's doing is it's sharing the link. That's really the main thing I wanted it to do is like look through the title, look through the description, and then share the link because that's really the purpose, right?
Yeah.
I want you guys to be able to find the videos easily so that you're not spending a bunch of time, but also find the right video. And so that's where I'm saying, hey, check the title and check the description for, to learn about the video and then share that link. So as long as the link is shareable where they can click it and then open it to view, then which the HighLevel, like if you're hosting your videos on HighLevel, you could do that, but you would definitely have to have a title and a description for the AI to pull from because it's not smart enough, at least at the custom GPT level, to pull it like read the video
Yeah.
from the link and then generate and know what it's about.
Yeah. Great. This is powerful.
Yeah, so cool. Especially like for a coach and like doing the things that I'm doing. That's so awesome. I'm excited about it for me, for sure. Andrew?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
Well, can I take you a little outside of this, Bridget?
Can you what?
So, take you a little outside of what you were doing. I'm still processing those things. But I have a use case scenario. What triggered this question, and I really do need assistance, is I told you about I spoke to someone and they're using Odoo. I was saying it sometime this last week. So what I need to do now, how do I get them speaking together? Because I've made a proposal, I've sold it before I can do it. So
Mhm.
I need to do it. Well, when I say sold, we should have another discussion, but they're just one. So you and I know how pharmacies go.
Mhm.
So what they're using is Odoo to do their inventory and stuff. They're this pharmaceutical distribution company. So I want to hook up the marketing to Odoo. They do have some things in Odoo, but I think GHL is more geared towards marketing.
So
So that's what I'm trying to do.
what part of it are you trying to get to talk to each other?
Okay, so the
Like, is it
contacts,
from HighLevel to
both two-way
Odoo?
sync,
Okay,
two-way
because
sync.
there's different triggers, right? So if you're sending from HighLevel to that other platform, then you need a trigger, and the trigger for that is lead connector.
Yeah.
So if you want to send data from HighLevel, you need to choose lead connector, and the only trigger is the pipeline stage change. So whatever your automation is, it needs to start with the pipeline stage changing to then trigger this workflow here. And then you would want to send it to, what is it, Odoo?
Odoo.
Odoo
Yeah.
CRM? Yeah,
Yeah.
so then you would need to send it there, and then you have create a lead there. So that's their
Okay.
only option.
So the thing is, they're using Odoo first. So I would,
Okay, so
if you were to pull from Odoo, yeah, the other way, turn it around.
then you
What are the
have
options?
new lead.
New lead.
So when they get
Okay.
a new lead there, then you'd want to go to lead connector here. I just delete this and create a new thing. Then you have lead connector.
Wonder if I can win in the spin today. So we go through this. Just being quite optimistic. I've never gone near. So
Once you figure out Zapier, it's so easy to use. It's just a matter of like really wrapping your head around the automations, right? You really need to figure out like, okay, they're in Odoo and our trigger here is new lead. So whatever I want to do with HighLevel, that has to be my trigger. Okay. So every time they get a new lead, then I need to do something with it inside of Lead Connector, right? So that's the next step. So I get a new lead. Once their account is connected to my Zapier account,
oh,
then I
sorry.
can do any of these things within Lead Connector. I can add a lead to a
Oh,
campaign. I can add a
okay. So
task. I
there are
can
more
add.
options then.
Yes, it just depends on what the trigger is. So it's like this is
Okay.
the trigger for Odoo, which is new lead. If I wanted to start with Lead Connector, the trigger would be pipeline stage changed.
So what I don't know, I'm trying to replicate I don't know if you know Vivo that's using Pharma.
Mm-mm.
So it's a CRM from Salesforce, multi-billion-dollar. They use Salesforce as their platform and they built Vivo for pharma sales. So it's quite expensive. And
Mhm.
you know, there are brand companies and generic companies. So what's happening in Jamaica now and really worldwide is they're going down. So apart from generics, the distributors, the brand companies are kind of scaling down to use distributors. So
Mhm.
and then they have generics. So there are lot in the market, and a lot of them are selling the same thing. So what I'm selling is I'm differentiating by using GHL to make them nurture more
Mhm.
and follow-ups. As a rep, I know follow-ups. You have
But what's
100, 200 doctors, and you have to follow
the
up
trigger
stuff
though?
with them.
Because
Go ahead.
all of that you can totally do. You just have to work with the triggers and then build the automation according to what you can actually do.
And then I think about pricing because each trigger, how are the pricing, how does the pricing go with Make or Zapier? It's per
Yeah, it's like
activation.
I think Zapier, there's different packages you can choose, but let's see, I think you can Google it. It won't let me because I'm already logged in and I don't want to log out of it,
Mhm.
but you can just Google it. There's like 3 different plans. Um, and you probably,
Okay.
you know, if it's a client, they don't want to sign up for Zapier and do it. So you probably want to
Mm,
self-host that and make sure that and you
exactly.
know, it also depends on like how many tasks. I mean, how much business are they doing? You know, that's an
Exactly.
important thing. How many times are you going to be using these tasks? That's something that you have to figure out.
Yeah, the key thing I just need to know how to do it. So when I'm doing like a trial run, I'll
Yeah, what
create
I'm saying is
something.
you won't know how to do it until you have the use case. That's kind of what we were just talking about. You
Yeah.
have to figure out the workflow, and you can't figure out the workflow until you figure out what the options are, right? So it's like
Yeah.
it's going to have to be triggered with a new lead if it's in Odoo. It's going to have to be triggered when the pipeline stage changed if it's in HighLevel. So you just have to
Hmm.
build your automations
Yeah.
around that. Like you may want
Yeah.
every time they get a new lead in Odoo, I want it to create a lead inside of Lead Connector. I want it to add a
Hmm.
tag in Lead Connector so that I know where the lead came from. I want to trigger this automation. I want to do this and that and whatever. All
Exactly.
all of that you just need to figure out according to what is possible, and then you can figure out how to do it.
Yeah, I did I have a recorded meeting with them, so I know exactly what they want. And based on my experience, I kind of know what the flow looks like.
Mhm.
I just want to know where to put them, where to
Yeah,
attach it. Yeah.
yeah. But really, the easiest thing would be when they get a new lead in Odoo to send it to Lead Connector, and then you can
Yeah.
just do everything with HighLevel from that point on. You don't have to worry about it.
Well, they have an inventory. What they would want to do, the pharmacy sales rep be able to upload the information so that the doctors, the reps that sees the doctor, the medical reps will have that data to know what's in stock, is it low, is it high, whatever. So stuff like that.
Mhm. Yeah, again, that's to be able to figure out if that's possible for you to do. You just have to see what the triggers are available inside of Zapier.
All right.
It's
Thanks.
it's a hard thing to try to do when you've never done it before.
Yeah.
It is, because there's a lot of moving parts. But you're welcome to kind of figure it out on your own. I would say before you ever have your meeting, kind of play with the integration and see what's available. And then kind of get their workflow. And of course, you can join open office hours and I can help you kind of walk through whatever you may be stuck on.
Yeah. Thanks. That's what I'm in the process of trying to do. So I'm gonna do it.
Cool, cool. I don't know whose hand was up next. I think Manolo, because I just saw you unmute. You're
You are
prepared.
good. You're good. I'm gonna share something with you real quick. See if you could help me with this. And I'm still on affiliates. So I created this affiliate program.
Mhm.
And that affiliate program, let me bring this down. I send this email, which is a trigger link right here.
Mhm.
And that trigger link takes him to this workflow.
Mhm.
And the workflow on the bottom has the link of the magic link for the membership
Mhm.
dashboard. But
Yeah.
here's the thing, it gives them access to everything. And right here, I'm only giving them access to the affiliate campaign. Because when I received the email, I tested it. That's not it. It's right here. It gives me everything.
Oh, so if you don't want those to show,
Mm-hmm.
because it will show. I mean, unless you're saying that when they click on that, they have access to everything. Is that what you're saying? Or are you just saying in the
When
menu?
they click on it, they have access to everything.
Okay.
How could I just confine it to the affiliate program?
So it said log in. So I'm thinking that first of all, I would say you need to test this in an incognito window to make sure. Because it's hard
I
to
did.
tell when you're testing in the community if it's actually you that it's picking up because you're the owner of the community. So you can't really know what they're seeing unless you're in incognito. So I would go through that process where you're using like a Gmail and make sure you use the plus sign to differentiate it, that we've talked about before, and do that incognito and then see what happens. Because unless you've granted that contact access, they should not be able to click on that and see what's there. They'll still see the menu, but they won't be able to click on there and access anything. They'll just say, it'll say something like no communities or no courses or something like that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep, you're welcome. Who was next?
Think I was.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, can you hear me?
We can hear you. How can I help?
Oh, okay. I was waiting for a yes. I've been having trouble with my setup, my microphone. I was going back to what we were talking about a while ago with Rick and all that. It came to me that playlists have a URL. Excuse me. Playlists in YouTube Studio have a URL, don't they? So
Yeah, that's what I
did
just
that
showed.
help you? Say again?
Yeah, that's what I just showed. You have to use the playlist to get the ID for the playlist URL.
Okay, so if you did the playlist, you could like, if you had day 1, 2, and 3 all in your playlist, or even, a series of 5, they would see the whole series. Is that right?
When you create a playlist, it creates a list of all the videos with that URL to the playlist.
Okay, I'm not understanding. You're saying a playlist to the first 50 that go into the CSV? on a playlist to all the videos that have that topic.
Well, when you create a playlist, it creates a list of videos.
Right.
So the
And
trigger for the
playlist itself-
automation is when you add a video to the playlist, that's what triggers the automation.
Okay. But what I'm thinking is, if I were doing a different maybe search, evidently, I didn't think this through, but could you just have certain playlists as the URL, and when the person clicked on it, it would go to the playlist that would show all 3 of the videos on that topic, or all 5 of the videos in that series. You know, that would shorten the number of 50 at a time that you had to do. You wouldn't have to put 500 videos out there. You could put 300 or 200 that, you know, were part of a series. I don't know.
The
I'm just
purpose of
trying
the purpose of what I just showed was to create a list that you can upload to your custom GPT. I'm not sure
Okay.
what you're trying to say.
Well, this is for the public though. If I come up and say, I want something on how to do part of a website. The URL would send me to a playlist about building that part of a website. I don't know. I'll play with it.
Yeah,
Never
I
mind.
think you're misunderstanding the purpose. The purpose of the GPT was to make it searchable and easily found. When you have 1,500 videos on your YouTube channel, it's hard to find videos. And sometimes you can't just share a playlist. I might have 4 different videos on email marketing, and they might be in 6 different playlists. So the point of a GPT is to search the list and then find the relevant videos according to the topic that was needed.
Okay. I was just thinking through it, trying to think of a shorter way for you to not have to upload the 50 at a time. Or I'm saying that wrong. Since you have a limit of 50.
It's a limit of
That's
50 because that's what Zapier, that's the
Right.
limit with Zapier. So you have to do a workaround.
All right. Thank you.
Uh-huh. I don't know who is next, Keith, Anthony, or Charles.
I think it was me. I just have a quick one here. So within your community, I'm not sure if it's my side for some reason from my browser, but when I click on the try my GPT, I'm getting a quite rude chatgpt.com refused to connect.
Oh, are you
and,
on a free GPT account?
Yeah.
That's why.
Wow.
You can't use
Oh, so it's
custom
my
GPT.
account? I thought it was your account I was connecting to.
No, you're using my GPT, but to access custom GPTs, you have to have a paid chat GPT.
Oh, anyone's custom GPT. I
Yeah.
thought it was only your own. Okay.
No.
I'll try and be in the cool kids club and come back. The just since I'm on now, I love the use case. Clearly you're excited about it and I'm excited about it for
Yeah.
searching your videos. For
That's
my
like
own
having it right there, just available 24/7. That's so awesome.
Yeah, well, it's only going to get more and more like you. And then what is if you're watched, you change your actions. So now you're going to change the way you coach based on what the chat GPT can do. And then it's a whole wacky world we're going to head through the rest of 2025 and beyond.
I think that the more, because I've noticed in the market, a lot of times like things come available, like all this AI stuff. And then we start to get like desensitized to these things. And then we start gravitating more towards the opposite. So it's like everybody's all about AI right now, and everybody's testing AI and building all this content with AI. But what happens is the market starts turning, they're tired of AI now, and they're more gravitated towards the real people. And so there's a balance there, but I still think regardless of what we do with the AI, we're not going to replace that person to person interaction, but we can utilize these tools to kind of save us. Like I'm still going to be available in open office hours, but if you can't find the video that you saw 6 months ago where I was talking about video hosting and it's 3 in the morning, Charles is raising his hand, and it's 3 in the morning, I don't want you to have to wait to open office hours. I want you to have the answer and the resources right at your fingertips. Because isn't that what we're trying to do as business owners? We want to be the solution and we want to provide everything that we could possibly think that our clients could need to help. Charles, you're cracking me up. We want to be the solution. We want to provide everything that they can need. And so that's always where my mind is. What can I do for you guys to make you more successful, to make you not have to wait until open office hours? So I think the GPT is a great solution. Plus, I love that when you put that, because you can use this for anything. I know you're in real estate, and I was even thinking like maybe properties. If you add all of those properties to a Google Sheet, then you could upload that list to your custom GPT and then make it searchable just like I do with my YouTube videos. The
Yeah,
thing
that
is, though, right now you would have to have that in a Google Sheet to be able to make it searchable. So
yeah.
that,
I already have that in a Google
yeah.
Sheet. So that leads to maybe my next thought here is for your use case, it's 3 in the morning. I might not know a specific video to search, and maybe my search query hits the title of your video or description or something. But is it at the stage now, or do you think it'll be there soon, where I can ask as if it was you and say, hey, is it possible to XYZ? And is the GPT, are you able to train it on the back to answer those types of questions that you would, you have a
Mm,
list of experiences and knowledge and, whatever background you need.
mm,
Uh, how are you going to be able to add more and more of that to the GPT? And I'm thinking for my own use case and everybody's first principles solutions to problems that these GPTs can do for us.
yeah. So the GPT, the custom GPT that I built, it's taking, like when you ask a question, it's taking from the title and it's taking from the description. So that information has to be the info you're asking has to be in that area. Okay. It needs to be part of a title or part of the description. Now it is smart enough to know, like if you ask how to breed Yorkies, it's going to say, hey, I don't have any information about that. But if you say, if you just type in email, it's going to find lots of suggestions for emails for you. You know what I'm saying? So if that information is in the Google Sheet that you have loaded in there and you ask it to search that Google Sheet or that set of data for the answer, that's what it's going to search. Now, if you don't give it that prompt, like I was saying, how I had to say specifically, only use the information from the Google Sheet. If you don't say that, it's going to use its normal chat GPT, go off into la la land to give whatever answer. So I guess the answer to what you're saying is if you're super structured and you have that information in the Google Sheet to be able to answer that, it's going to answer it. But if it's not in there, it's just either going to pull it from the air or it's going to not answer like I've told mine to not
Can I
do.
give it a Google Sheet with, 7,000 buildings in it with a certain fields out of the CSV file about the buildings, but also say if you're asked a question about the city of Vancouver, you can pull from this specific website or this specific PDF or something like that. I can keep piling stuff in to a custom GPT,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you could do that.
Awesome.
I would say though, just for my experience working with this, it's easier to create lists based on like a category, for example, right? So maybe if I were you and I was creating that type of a GPT for real estate properties, I would maybe want to create a Google Sheet for every city, all the properties in that city, and then I would want to make sure to title that document with the city so that when I'm creating my GPT, I can say, when they ask about this, use this document. You know what I'm saying? So like say some way to let the GPT, just like if you had an assistant, right? If I was your assistant and you were like, hey, here's a bunch of sheets, or if you said, here's one Google Sheet with 7,000 properties, it's going to take me a while to dig through all of that. But if you give me a bunch of Google Sheets and they're all organized by city, now I just go to the city and then I can look through that list. So if you categorize that easily, when you upload those documents, ChatGPT has to work not as hard to find the right answer.
Fantastic. This is a good head start. Thank you.
Cool, you're welcome. Tony?
Hey, Bridget.
Hey.
Geez, I almost forgot my question. Actually, I had two questions. The first one is, do you know if there's an extra charge to use WhatsApp with GHL?
Yeah, there is. So the agency can resell. WhatsApp is like an add-on. So the agency can resell it. And I think HighLevel charges, I think
$10.
yeah, $10 a month.
Dollars.
Yeah,
So it's just
Andrew's
a
the WhatsApp.
$10 charge. Actually, this is also for you, Andrew. Like you use it, it's just a one time, like you pay the $10 charge on top of
Per
your,
month.
Per
and
month.
that's you use it unlimited?
No. So they have what you call utility and marketing, three categories. Marketing, how do you say? So utilities, say you had an appointment and you have automations for reminders, you're not charged. However, marketing, when you reach out, there is a charge. But if the person initiates a discussion with you, you have 24 hours in which to reply, and it just continues. So once the 24 hours doesn't pass before any communication, then it's open. But if
What's
you initiate that, then
hold
you
on, but
pay.
what Andrew, what's open?
Meaning there's a 24-hour window where you can talk
What
back and
what
forth
Andrew's
without
talking
a charge.
Yeah, what Andrew's talking about is, just the same with Facebook Messenger. When someone sends you a message, then you can reply to them, but it has to be within 24 hours. Otherwise, the window closes and you can't send them a message automated.
Okay.
That's what,
Okay. All
sorry
right.
to interrupt,
Bridget,
Andrew.
you're the teacher, Bridget.
No, I appreciate that because the thing is, like, WhatsApp, it's what dominates most of South America and the Caribbean islands, and I have a lot of people in those areas that are asking me about this service, and I don't understand the numbers. I don't understand like how they're charging and how that charge would apply for them because it's a higher cost regardless. So I make more money than they do on their island or in South America. So what would be what I would calculate to be not a big deal, it may be a very huge deal to them,
Yeah, so offer it free. You absorb that $10 and let it not, they don't even know about any charge. You just offer it as part of a package.
Right, but then if
Price
I
accordingly, or
well,
you know,
if I were to do that, then I would have to know exactly what niche I was going to offer it to make sure that they're bringing in enough money to be able to cover the cost of what I'm going to have to charge for the entire CRM, including that, WhatsApp fee. Because if they can afford it, they can afford it.
What Andrew's talking about is you just make it part of your package, right? So if your plan is $297 a month and it's going to cost you $10 to add WhatsApp, you're going to make $180, whatever I just said. You're going to
Right,
make
but
$10 less than that.
no, I get that, but what I don't know is what are the extra fees? Like, how do those extra fees add up? You know,
So
that's
go to GHL and there, that question mark, you go there, go to the help
right,
document.
right, right, right.
Yeah, before we're through, if I can share it, I'll do it.
No, I know where it is. I have it up. I appreciate it.
Yeah, but just to let you know, the challenge I was having last week, I was telling Bridget, the coexistence. So before now, you can only use it in one place. If it's on your phone, you can't use it if you connect it into GHL. Now they allow you to use the app on your phone and in GHL. So now it's the best time.
Man, I'm gonna have to just sit down and talk to you about that because like I
Yeah,
really have
shoot
to take
me.
notes. It seems like it's a whole thing,
I'll
but
shoot you my email and we can do a quick talk.
that'll be sweet.
I'll
My
tell you the
second,
pains to avoid. Yeah.
I appreciate it, man. My
I
my
love that. You guys just make me I feel like a proud mama. I love hearing you guys working together and helping each other. It's so awesome.
my like I wanted to let my Nono know that yeah, you can use it with different languages. If you want, I could walk you through it if you have time, whenever you have time. Um, and my third question is, Bridget, the GPT, when you create it, is there a way that we could connect it to a website page? And if there is, you think you could make a training on that?
I was actually just talking to Charles about this, and it kind of relates back to what the problem Keith was having. With You could do that, okay? First, you could, create an iframe code and then iframe it in there. That's possible. But the problem is that you need to have a paid ChatGPT account to access GPTs. So if they don't have a paid account, they're not going to be able to access it. So the alternative to that would be to use like FormWise and create your custom GPT using FormWise, and then you can embed that on a page just like you were wanting to do. That's kind of where, sometimes it's kind of confusing, like, well, would FormWise be good for that or ChatGPT? And that's really where FormWise excels, is it allows you to use this, like the ChatGPT functionality, but it's more advanced because you have more control over that. You can create that GPT and embed it into a website page. You can have them fill out a form, and then you can have the AI use those answers to generate a response. It's much more controlled environment when you're using FormWise as opposed to trying to create a GPT. And like I said, they can't even access it anyway unless they have a paid GPT account.
I was having the same problem Keith was having, trying to get to your GPT.
Are you you have a paid GPT account, right?
Yes, I do. I keep getting an error when I
What
go
did
in.
it say?
Training for next week is you put it into FormWise for us
Us?
on your FormWise page.
Uh,
Well, the thing is, when you use FormWise, though, you're using your own API for OpenAI. So every time, what I would have to do then is pay every time you guys would use this, which would make it not in my free plan, right? It would be another plan. So that's another thing that you may want to consider. If you want to do FormWise, cool, but you're going to be paying for the access to your OpenAI. I don't know. Do the rest of you guys, can you access it? Have
I've
any of you
tried it
tried?
twice. I've tried it twice, and it's allowing me to access it.
Oh, okay.
And the second time, I just put in workflows to see what would come up, and it led me to 3 examples. But earlier, whenever I put in affiliate manager, it led to some videos about affiliate manager with your name out beside it.
Okay.
So that's why I had a question about accessing them, because it seems like I'm able to, unless, I mean,
I put the
it
link
says,
in
it says Bridget Bartlett's GPT up at the top.
yeah. All right, cool. All right, Manolo says he can access it. I did put it in the chat. I don't know if,
Yeah, I just got it with the link from the chat. I just got it.
okay, cool, cool. Charles?
I couldn't find my mouse. No, yeah, I can access it too because I was looking at it last night. Um, and then it's funny, like, because so you were talking about form wise, and so basically form wise would be the option that we would use, or could be an option to use the same thing as the Chat GPT, just swapping them out without having the people log into Chat GPT. Because of course, with that solution, they have to have a paid GPT subscription in order to access. So, okay. No, that you answered it right there at the end. So that's the main thing.
What were you saying about creating a commercial in the chat?
Oh my goodness. I took the training that you did. I don't know what day it is because I've been creating like my GPT list gets longer and longer and longer. And so like I like love it and I've really been using it to execute deals and it's things that I know, but I just put it in there anyway to help make things more concise and quick. And when you're running around doing a bunch of things, you don't want to forget. So it helps me stay consistent. Um, so that's really crazy. And then I was sitting there and I uploaded the brand playbook and a couple other marketing things. Um, and then I was playing with it and I ended up doing the story commercial and the copy that came back, I was like, oh my God. Like, and it went into Descript and then it was reading it with the AI voice. And I was like, this is like, I'm ready to sign up for me. Like it was like phenomenal. And I was just like, I had skipped over the how Descript lets you do the voice because it was like 3 in the morning and like I was just tired. Like I was tired maybe like an hour and a half ago, but I was just excited messing with everything because it was basically I finished my work so I could kind of play a little bit. And I was like, I have to like voice this because the brand messaging was like so spot on. It spoke to the pain points. And then how it came back at the end and delivered the solution was like so matter of fact. I thought I was listening to me. So I was just like, I can't let an AI voice like steal this from me. So
Yeah, yeah.
it was, and then it's funny too because I had another call today and they were talking about my AI voice, and it's funny because I took time to find the appropriate AI voice and things like that, and people really do pay attention to those types of things. So
Yeah.
you really can do that, and I agree with you as far as yes, there is an AI train because I even I'll have the TV on like I have it on now, and I'll see different commercials. You have commercials right now of AI employees doing interviews that are on TV right now. So like people are commonly aware of it, but at the end of the day, too, people still want that human interaction, but you can use the AI tools to help you deliver the human experience. So I think it's just really, really, really cool.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah, I'm with you because I did the same thing. I created like my GPT, I trained it, I added the playbook, all the things that I tell you guys to do. And then I created my own commercial inside of Descript and I had it read in my own voice. It chose the slides, I had it reading in my own voice. And I still thought like it, I was super impressed first, let me say that. Super impressed, but it didn't have the same, like when I was playing it back, it didn't have the same like emotion.
Mhm.
But who cares? Because I
Right.
thought, oh my gosh, I already have all this script, so I could just read the script in my normal voice, add it to all of these slides that are already created. It'll still like, so that one, I could create that whole promo video and commercial in like 5 minutes.
Like how much time was set, like, and I understand from the because of my background and especially marketing and advertising, like I understand what it takes to get to that particular point. So then just to reread something, I'm like, are you, and then for it to be that good, I'm just like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because I used to do things that old way. I
Mhm.
remember like creating promos you know,
Mhm.
for Builderall, and we would share them with each. It was like a week's
Mhm.
process that
Mhm.
you go through. It's like the script, and then the slides, and then all the stuff, and then the audio, like
Yeah.
all of that. It would
Yeah.
take weeks
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
generate that.
Yeah. I mean, I remember like even from a radio perspective, like DAT tapes and like so like it's like I know it very, very from an industry standpoint,
Yeah.
historically, like, you know, 20 years ago versus today, like I'm like, this is crazy. And then the other thing is too, people, even though yes, you see a lot of it in the mainstream media, people are not really executing on the AI to the extent that we are in the group. I can just tell you that right now. We on something else.
Yeah.
So, you know, and again, being ahead of the pack, first movers advantage, you know, it just helps put you in a different class. So I thank you always and every day. But yeah. And then I guess I had somebody tell me too, I know more than a hard reset when it comes to technology. I said, okay, maybe I do now.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's not even just like the training. It's like I'm just giving you the breadcrumbs and you're taking it and you're making it your own and you're using it. And that's really where most of the knowledge comes from. It's the applying it to your business with your use case and using it every day and then building on that. It's like, I mean, what we're doing right now in these GPTs, it's so cool that we can use it, but think of like where this is going, and you're already laying the foundation for all of those upgrades and improvements that will come in the future.
I'll take it to Manolo.
You guys in the chat, you crack me up. Let me go ahead and get to Brett real fast.
Oh, yeah. Hi.
Hey.
Couple of questions. You were talking about I missed some of this conversation about the Descript and how that can train your voice, right? That's really phenomenal because part of my problem my whole life is when I'm talking a lot, I feel like it makes me physically ill. Like I will get a headache if I'm doing a lot of talking. And so hearing this that I could train Descript and have it be my voice is just incredible.
Yeah, it is. And you know what else is great about it? It's like, even if you record the whole video, right? And you like in your own voice and you go through the time and effort of doing that, because I do that every day, there are times where I will say the wrong thing, just like my brain is like 5 steps ahead and then my mouth just says whatever it wants sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'll say the wrong thing. And what's cool about Descript is you can just highlight that word that you said incorrectly and then choose regenerate, and then it will take your voice and regenerate whatever you've typed in there to fill that in so that it's actually you. Yeah, it's insane. And when you edit the videos, you can edit from the transcript instead of having to, you know, like we upload a video and then you have the tracks and you have to like cut through the tracks. All you have to do is just edit that word out and it takes it out of the audio too.
Oh, that's great. What is the security on that? I know that's the only thing I would be concerned about, because I know if people can get a hold of your voice, then you've got a problem.
Yeah, it's actually very secure, and it will prompt you every time that you want to use your voice. Well, not every time, but at least the first time in a video that you're editing, it will make you read something saying that this is your voice and you're allowed to use it. And then you'll read like a little like training clip, and then it will use that voice.
Yeah, okay, great. Thank you for that. I have one more question. That was that marketing plan, or I think it was called the marketing plan that's generated by HighLevel. How can I get that if I'm not a reseller? Is there any way I can do that, or do I have to be a reseller and have a HighLevel to do that?
So if you're in our reseller program and you have for the people who are in my program for a long time, they have access to that. If you just joined over the last few months, it's part of our Plus or Pro plan. So you could either upgrade to one of those plans to get access to that, or you could sign up for HighLevel specifically. But it's
Okay.
you'll know if you have it because you'll see AI coach in our dashboard.
Oh, okay. And that's in the like the AI dashboard where all the AI tools are?
Yeah, at app.myvisionagency.com.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I am adding the names here to our wheel. Manola, I see your hand is up. You want to go ahead and ask while I enter the names in here?
Yeah. As I told you, I just click on the link and it put it on my chat GPT. My
Cool.
question is it going to stay on there? Do I have to save it or something?
It will stay on that the side of your like
Or my menu?
yeah. But you can always click the link again if you need it.
Then I need to save that link.
Yeah, well, it's in the community, in
okay.
the panel. If you it says ask my GPT.
And it's
Okay,
best if
great.
when you click the link, I find you
me.
just ask it something, let it do something, and then automatically it goes over there.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you about that video, but since I had the thing open, I type in there and gave me the video right away.
Yeah. I love it. But you know, I hope that when I create these things, my hope is always, of course, that it helps you guys. But also I hope that you recognize what I've done for you so that you can think about like, how can I do this for because if you search for that video and you find it, like that feeling that you just had, Manolo, where you're like, that's so cool. And it's like, if you provide that for your clients as well, they will feel like that. And they will feel like, man, Manolo is always giving me such valuable stuff that makes life so much easier. And really, isn't that what we want our customers to feel? We want them
Yeah,
to feel
now
like, man.
on this script, I have this script myself. Is that on all the plans, or you have to have the second or third plan?
I'm not
You don't
really
know
sure.
that.
I have the second plan on Descript, and I chose that plan because
It's like 4K for the 4K.
yeah, I
I
gotta
don't
have
have the 4K, but I guess I'll find out unless Charles tells me. Charles, what's up?
I think the second plan is what you have to get all that though.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
I'd just like to say that I have a friend that he does the voice where it's his voice. And I mean, you cannot tell the difference.
Yeah,
in
it's
his
crazy.
voice and his AI. I think he uses 11 Labs.
Yeah, 11 Labs is a lot better. It's probably the best one, honestly, when it comes to like cloning a voice. It's probably the best one.
Yeah, you can't tell the difference.
But Descript is pretty close. It's kind of scary close, honestly. But I didn't feel like when I heard it, I didn't feel like it really had like the enunciations and things that I would normally put it, like how I normally talk. It was a little bit flat. So I just felt like if I was going to post this video, I would want to just read the audio myself and then use that instead of the AI generated voice. But also, those little things I use all the time where like I'll say something wrong and then use the AI to correct it. And also think about like, even if you use the AI voice, that's cool. Make like 1,000 videos and run some ads and do A/B split testing and see which one. It's like the massive amounts of content that you can create in such a short period of time. I swear that's why I am so in love with the solopreneur idea, because I think it's so possible. We could all be multimillionaires without a team. I'm determined to do that.
Bridget, two quick things. Thanks
Yeah.
for the Bible verses. I've set up my church social already. I've created them, loaded them. I'm just I didn't do the CSV thing, so I'm doing them one by one because it's a good thing I did that, because where I put the quotation, when I put it to YouTube is right there, so it obfuscated so I'm saying, good thing I didn't do that. So I had to go back over and reset. So a quick thing, videos, which method do you think is best? Is it just Zoom, what's the other one? I keep forgetting the platform, the broadcasting, OBS.
So best for what?
for just doing videos, showing the platform, talking about stuff, just for content and stuff, because I'm to head into that. I'm just setting some platform. As I said, I'm trying to generate some monies first before I start do some other stuff. So because I'm doing a lot of face-to-face warm outreach, I'm not too much online with putting out stuff, but I'm getting there and it's more efficient.
Okay, so if you just want something quick, Zoom works good. You could also, even if you're using Descript, you could use that to record. You could use Loom to record. The best quality, you're going to get Descript. But if you're like me and you like the fact that Zoom has a little filter so you don't look like you just woke up out of bed, then maybe you want to use that Zoom. It really doesn't matter. The goal
What
is
about
just to
Dub?
get the content out there.
What about Dub?
Dub is good too, but I still think Descript quality is a lot better. If you're
And the
looking for
price?
like ease of use, for sure, use Dub. I mean, use whatever you can use to get the content out there and then worry about the quality and all of that. I have a meeting here actually in just a few minutes, so I want to definitely make sure we get through the wheel here. So if I do not call your name, let me know. We have Nolo, Anthony, Martina, Rick, Keith, Andrew. Did I put Anthony twice? Oh, I must have wanted him to win again. Brett, Charles, Frankie, Maria, Scott, Ray, and Scott. Did I leave anyone out? Going once, twice. All right, let's spin the wheel. And for those of you watching, whoever wins a free private consultation with me, and it is Andrew. Ask,
right.
you shall receive, Andrew.
Whoa, I'm gonna do this more. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I will send you the link to schedule your meeting as soon as we're done here. All right, guys. I hope you have an awesome weekend. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all on Monday. Go make your vision a reality.